Questions that was asked was about the consolidation wizard. What does it do? Can you show us that?
Wow. Yeah, that's actually, you know what? That's probably one of the best features that are out there. You know, um, each month we're getting these offers in the mail about zero interest credit card, 12 months, 15 months, 18 months, 21 months. And so, well, that can make a huge impact. The thing is that what do you do once you receive the card? What do we do then? Well, that's the key, knowing what to do. And again, the Money Max account, remember what it is. It's a system that can actually tell you exactly what to do with every new financial situation that you find yourself in. So let's take a look inside of the accounts tab for a second. We can see that these folks had some credit cards. Look, they got a Chase Sapphire. Don't you know that they're happy that that's almost paid off? But they got Citibank. They've got another Citibank. Okay, these guys like Citi a lot. So they got another Citibank right there. They've got a Credit One card. You can see what their balances are and what their monthly payments are there. They got a they must be from the Cincinnati area. They got a Fifth Third card there. I see. That's the one that they've got that's 0% interest. So that's the one that they plan on using. There's Home Depot, there's a line of credit, there's a Navy Platinum in there with a significant balance on it, and then there's a Regions Bank right there. So so they just received a credit card with a $17,000 credit limit at 0%, and it's good all the way until October 1st of 2026, which means that they can go ahead and beat the interest game a little bit with the bank, right? And why would they want to do that? Well, because what kind of interest are we paying on $4,700, right? We're paying quite a bit, aren't we? The What kind of interest are we paying on $7,800? Well, inside of the system, under the settings tab right here, you notice that one of the features that are inside of here is the consolidation wizard. And Karen, this is what they're asking about. And so if I click that button, then you notice that a window opens up and it says it's going to evaluate all of these credit card accounts for the most advantageous way to consolidate these debts. In other words, you've got this zero interest card, you want to move some things in. Who do you move? Well, all we have to do is just click one button, and then it looks at all of these credit cards right here. That's what it's looking at. It sees this line of credit. Look, man, they got a ton of room on that line of credit. I'm surprised they want to use that. But there's the credit cards. There's that zero interest Fifth Third right there. So all of those things. So let's evaluate and let's see what the system says. The system says this right here. Oh, it does want to use that. It does want to use those things. And so here's what it's saying. These are the amounts of money that it wants to move right here. This is where they want to move the money basically to, and this is what they're going to end up paying off, is what they will do. In other words, you see these first five lines? It's making some financial recommendations with that card. They just got a card that has this $17,000 open line. It's at 0%. And look what it's saying right away. It says send $4,832, pay off Home Depot. Basically, that's what it wants to do. It wants to go ahead and pay off the city, 1597. It wants to pay off that Chase Sapphire. It wants to pay off Regions, and it wants to go ahead and give a big chunk toward the city reward card. Then it wants to use the HELOC to finish off city rewards and to use the HELOC for a few others as well, and a big piece of this Navy Platinum. And so all of these credit cards then, based on this recommendation right here, that's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight of their credit cards would now have zero balance on them. And all of those balances right there would have moved to what it had said to move. Now, I want you to think about something. You've got 15 pieces of credit. You're trying to follow 15 pieces of credit throughout the month. I've got to make sure, I've got to look at my bank account every day just to make sure that everything's working right with all these credit cards. Think about the stress that will leave your life if you could have just consolidated eight of them into one. Wouldn't that be great? or whether it was into two. And in this case, it was into like 2.5. Okay, so think about it. So all of those are paid off. Well, what does it mean? What does it mean? Well, the first thing that means is that we don't have to pay interest on these cards anymore, right? So what did that add up to? Look at this right here. Folks, it added up to $16,398. Look, I gotta zoom in so you can see that one right there. It would have knocked out $16,000. This is money that you were earning, that you were getting ready to give away, that you'll now not give the credit card company. Who would you give it to? Well, you might give it to yourself. You might go on vacation with it. You might give it to your favorite speaker. I don't know. Now, you might give it to whoever. You might, but you get to do whatever you'd want to do with it. To charity, to your children, to your mom and dad, do whatever you want to do with it. You keep the money. In fact, look at this. If you would have done it, it says it would have knocked out another 10% of a year. That's another 6 weeks of time, folks. It would have knocked out another six. So not only would it have saved $16,000 right there, it would have also knocked out another 6 weeks of bills, debt payments. What kind of debt payments, Rick? You ask. Well, the debt payments that these folks over here have. Let's look at it real quick. What did they have for debt payments? They had scroll down to this piece right here. Look at this. They had $4,700 of debt payments. So it would have knocked out another 6 weeks. So it would have saved them like another $6,000 or $7,000 right there, right? So $16,000 of interest instantly, and then another $7,000 over time. And so should we do this consolidation, folks? What do you think? Should we?
It looks great to me.
It sure does, doesn't it, though? And you would have knocked out 8 credit cards. Think about your credit score. All of a sudden, you just paid off 8 credit cards. Your credit score just went through the roof, right? And
Just be
folks,
so much easier too.
well, that's the whole idea. It, it's learning to manage the money, because what we focus on, and it's not your fault for this, okay? But you focus on interest rates. We all do, right? Because that's all we ever hear in the news: interest rate, interest rate, interest rate. But what we've been trying to get everybody to focus on is the interest dollar. And if you'll pay attention to those interest dollars, well, here you could have saved $16,000 of them. You could have saved another $6,000 worth of payments over time. I mean, it just economically, yes, it would have made super sense. And I will tell you, on the stress level, the stress would have come down so much just by getting rid of 8 credit cards. And that's Consolidation Wizard. Now, in order for Consolidation Wizard to work, okay, it's easy to do. All you have to do is click on settings and just go down to Consolidation Wizard. Your favorite line will say, no recommendations made at this time. If you see that, that means that all of your money is sitting in the exact right spot that it needs to sit in. But if you haven't got a zero interest credit card recently and you're still getting those offers in the mail, well, then I would encourage you maybe that you might want to try to go ahead and get 1 or 2 of those, enter them into your MoneyMax account, and then run the Consolidation Wizard on your own and see what it would do for you. If you need some help, like always, down here in this little headset down here, there's a phone number that you can always reach out to our corporate coaching team. They'd be more than happy to be able to go ahead and show you exactly how to go ahead and enter that credit card into the system, and they'll even help you run the Consolidation Wizard. And I hope for you that it saves you tens of thousands of dollars. I hope it makes a big difference in your life. Think about it. Any dollar of interest that you don't give away, well, that's a dollar that you get to go to the beach with, right? Okay. All right. So that's the Consolidation Wizard, Karen.
Thanks for answering that question. That was great.